YouTube channel. In today's video, we are going to learn one of the most important topic, that is the declarative sentences. We'll also learn how to transform declarative sentences to interrogative sentences. So let's begin with a simple question. What is a declarative sentence? Well, a declarative sentence is something that a sentence tells us. It could express a fact, give an opinion, share an idea, or describe something that's happening. It doesn't ask a question. It's not giving a command. It's not showing strong emotion like an exclamation. It just states something in a calm and direct manner. So, to summarize, a declarative sentence is equal to a statement. It declares something, gives us information, or tells us what's happening. Now, let's look through a couple of examples. Like, I am learning English grammar. So, this is a declarative sentence. Why? Because it simply tells us what the speaker is doing. It's not a question like, are you learning English? It's not a command like, learn English. And it's not an exclamation like, whoa, I love English grammar. It's just a clear, calm statement of fact. Next example is, they watched a movie last night. Again, this sentence tells us what happened in the past. No request, no emotion, no question, just information. Now let's move. So when we talk about declarative sentences, it's important to understand their key features, right? So that we can recognize and use them correctly in both spoken and written English. The main purpose of a declarative sentence is very simple. It is used to make a statement or declare something. Whether it's stating a fact, expressing an idea, or sharing an opinion, declarative sentences are meant to inform the reader or the listener. Now let's talk about the tone. Declarative sentences usually have a neutral or informative tone, which means they don't show strong emotions like surprise or anger, nor do they give commands or ask questions. Instead, they simply share information in a calm and clear way. One very important feature is the punctuation. Declarative sentence always end with a full stop or a period. Never with a question mark or exclamation mark, nothing. This punctuation signals to the reader that the sentence is complete and that it's meant to convey information. Next comes the structure. Declarative sentence follow a standard and easy to remember format, that is the subject and plus the predicate. The predicate usually contains the verb and sometimes an object or a complement. For example, in the sentence, the child is playing. The child is the subject and is playing is predicate. This simple structure makes a declarative sentence easy to construct and widely used. Now, where do we use these kinds of sentences? The answer is almost everywhere. Declarative sentences are the most common type of sentence in English language. You will find them all the time in daily conversations, schools, essays, newspapers, books, everywhere. Whether someone is saying the sun sets in the west or writing water boils at 100 degrees Celsius, they are using declarative sentences to share information. So, to sum up, declarative sentences are the foundation of clear communication, we can say that. So let's talk about the structure of declarative sentence. So when we talk about the structure of declarative sentence, the most basic and commonly used pattern is subject plus verb plus object. Object is optional and complement is also optional. This means every declarative sentence must have at least a subject and a verb, while the object and complement are not necessary. For example, take this simple sentence, birds fly. Here, bird is the subject, the one performing the action, and fly is the verb, the action being done. There is no object because nothing is receiving the action, and there is no complement either, which means the sentence is short but still complete. It declares a general truth that birds have the ability to fly, and that's what makes it a declarative sentence. So, even with just a subject and a verb, you can form a meaningful declarative sentence that communicates a clear idea. This structure helps us build simple to complex sentences by adding objects or complements as needed, but the core remains the same. We are stating something clearly and directly, which is the main purpose of declarative sentence. Now let's talk about its tone. Okay, so there is another table that I made where there's a simple sentence is taken: Ravi plays cricket. So the here Ravi is the subject who is doing the action, that is playing cricket. Plays is the verb, plays is the action, main action that is being done, and cricket is the object which receives the action. For the complement, we are using a sentence like she is a teacher. A teacher completes the meaning here, so it is a complement. Now let's talk about the types of declarative sentence. So, declarative sentence has two main types, that is the positive or affirmative and the negative. Positive state something is true or to affirm. Like, I have a pet dog. She likes dancing. Like, there is no negative word. So, it is a positive or affirmative declarative sentence. And negative declarative sentence is used to deny something. A negative word will be used like not, no, never. Like, I do not like horror movies. He never arrives on time. So negative words are used here. So it is a negative declarative sentence. Okay. So now let's talk about the tone of the declarative sentence. So when we talk about the tone, we usually think of them as neutral and informative, but in reality, declarative sentences can carry a variety of tones depending on what the speaker wants to express. For example, a neutral tone would sound like she studies in class 10, simply stating a fact without emotion. But declarative sentences can also sound confident, like, I know I can do this, where the speaker shows strong belief in themselves. They can even sound doubtful, as in, I think he might be right, where there is uncertainty. A personal tone might come through in a sentence like, I feel tired today, which shares how someone is feeling. Even emotional tones are possible. For example, I am really missing my mom expresses a feeling of sadness. Okay. Yet, it still remains a declarative sentence because it is simply states a thought without an exclamation mark. Okay. That's the key point. Even when a declarative sentence carries emotion, as long as it ends with a period, not an exclamation mark, it remains a statement, not an exclamatory sentence. Now, a very important topic, that is changing declarative sentence to other types of sentences. So, our first is we'll change the declarative sentence to interrogative sentence. So, let's get started. Let's begin with start with checking for an auxiliary or helping verb. First, always check if your sentence has an auxiliary verb. Okay, auxiliary verbs are is, am, are, was, were, has, have, had, will, can, may, shall, should, would, must, and so on. These verbs help form different tenses and key to transforming a statement into a question. So, if there is an auxiliary verb, move the auxiliary verb to the beginning, then the subject, followed by the rest of the sentence. So the structure is we need to write the auxiliary verb at first, then the subject, then the object or the complement that we have to convert the declarative sentence to interrogative sentence if the sentence has an auxiliary verb. For example, declarative sentence is she is a teacher. So we are bringing the auxiliary verb at first, which is the auxiliary verb is, then subject she, a teacher, object. Okay, very simple. So whenever you see a helping verb in sentence, just bring it to the front. That's all. Now the next is, if there is no auxiliary verb, now comes the interesting part. What if there is no helping verb in the sentence? In such cases, especially when the sentence is in simple present or simple past tense, we use do, does, or did as auxiliary verbs. Okay, now the simple structure is we need to bring the do, does, or did at first, then subject, then verb, then object. We use do when the subject is I, you, we, they, In present tense, we use does when it is he, she, or it in present tense. Or in past tense, we use it as did. And remember, when you use do, does, did, the main verb changes back to its base form. Like if there is helped, it will be transformed to its main form, that is help. Okay. So the first example is he plays cricket. Plays is the simple present form for he, but there is no auxiliary, so we use does, and play becomes its base from. Plays becomes its base from, that is play. So does he play? Does he play cricket? Okay. The second example is they visited the museum. This is past tense. We use did here, and the visited is transformed to its main form, that is visit. So did they visit the museum? Easy, right? So our next is making question using a WH word. So now what if you want to ask a specific question like where is she going or when did they come? These are called WH question and they begin with what, when, where, why, who, whom, which, how, like this. And the simple structure is we need to bring the WH word at first, then the auxiliary verb, subject, main verb, and the object. Now let's see how it works. So she is going to school. We are bringing the WH word at first, where, then the auxiliary verb is, then subject she, going. Okay? And the answer is she is going to school. Right? Another example, we can take it as they have gone to Mumbai. So, where have they gone? Easy. And one more important thing is if there is no auxiliary verb, apply rule 2, that is add do, does, or did even in WH questions also. The next is for sentence with modals. Modals like can, will, should, must, etc. Modal verbs can, will, shall, should, must, may, might, would are also considered as helping verbs. We just need to bring the modal verb at the first, and the structure is modal plus subject, verb, and object. Okay. Example, he will come tomorrow. So it becomes the modal verb will come at first and it will become will he come tomorrow? Will he come tomorrow? Like the modal, then the subject and the verb and the object. Just need to remember the structure, otherwise everything is easy. So nothing is tricky here, just move the modal to the beginning. Now the next is sentences beginning with there is and there are. Sometimes declarative sentences begin with there is or there are to state that the existence of something. Like there is a cat on the roof. To convert this question, simply bring the auxiliary verb before there. Okay, that's easy. So we are bringing the auxiliary verb before there. Is there a cat on the roof? The question is done. Very easy. Just bringing the auxiliary verb, then there, subject, object. Done. Very easy. So if you talk about a brief summary, so if there is an auxiliary verb, just bring it to the front. If there is no auxiliary verb, use do, does for present tense and did for past tense. If there is WH word questions, bring WH word, then helping verb, then subject. If there are sentences with modal verb goes to the front. If there is or there are sentences are there, then auxiliary verb goes before there. Now we have some simple example for transformation of declarative to interrogative sentences. Let's see it. Like he plays football. So the transform after transformation it becomes does he play football? Why? Because this sentence is in simple present. There is no auxiliary verb and the verb is placed. Since he is singular subject and we use does as the helping verb. When we use does, the main verb changes to base form. So play becomes play. Next is she has a pet dog. After transformation, it is does she have a pet dog? Why? Has here is used to show possession, not as a helping verb. In such cases, we use does in the question form. Has become have, the base form after does. So, does she have a pet dog is correct. Next is she was at home yesterday. After transformation, it is was she at home yesterday? The auxiliary verb was already there. We bring it to the beginning of the sentence, no other changes needed. Okay. Next is he had a red bicycle. So after transformation, it is did he have a red bicycle? Had there had here is used for possession in simple past. So we had did at the beginning and we use the base form of have. Um, ha okay, that is all. No other changes. Next is she will come tomorrow. So the answer is will she come tomorrow? Um, will is a modal, that is a helping verb. So we just bring it to the front. No verb changes are needed here. The next is she is going to the market. The answer is where is she going? Why? We are asking for the place. So we use the WH word where. Is the auxiliary verb. It comes after the WH word. Then comes the subject she and finally the verb going. Next is he has been reading for 2 hours. Then the answer is how long has he been reading? Explanation is this is present perfect continuous. To ask about duration, what do we use? Of course, how long. Every time we use how long. Has is the helping word here and comes after how long, followed by the subject and the rest of the verb phrase. Next is they'll arrive at 7 p.m. and the answer is when will they arrive? So why it is so? We are asking about time. So we use when. Will is the helping verb. It comes after when, then the subject they, and the verb arrives. The next is the children were playing in the garden. So, where were the children playing? Where is the auxiliary? Since we want to know place, we start with where, then where the children, and finally playing. Then the next is she bought a new dress yesterday. What did she buy yesterday? This is simple past tense. No auxiliary verb is present. So we add did. Bought becomes base form by. We use WH word what to ask about the object. Next is she has been working in this company for 5 years. And the answer is how long has she been working in this company? So, present perfect continuous tense again. Use how long to ask about time or duration. Has is brought after the WH word, then she, then been working. Okay. The next is they had completed the project before the deadline. And the answer will be had they completed the project before the deadline. Had is the past perfect auxiliary verb. Just move had to the beginning of the sentence. No need to change the main verb. Completed. Okay. The girl who won the competition is my sister. Who is your sister? Here, we want to replace the subject, the girl who won the competition, with the WH word who. The rest of the sentence is your sister. Um, this is slightly different type when we are asking about identity. Okay, we need to remember such specific ones. The next is they have been waiting for the bus since morning, and the answer is since when they have been waiting for the bus. So again, this is present perfect continuous tense. Since we are asking about starting point of the action, we use since when. Then bring have subject they been waiting. The rest is the same. Then he will be traveling to London next week. Where will he be traveling next week? So this is a future continuous tense with will be or verb ing. We use where to ask the destination. The structure is WH word, then will come, then subject, then be traveling. Okay, so that's all for today's video. In this video, we explore declarative sentences, their meaning, features, structure, tone, and most importantly, how to transform declarative sentences to interrogative sentences using easy to follow rules and examples. In the next video, we'll take things a step ahead and learn how to convert declarative sentences to imperative, optative, and exclamatory sentences. We'll also be covering the remaining sentence types and diving deeper into the advanced grammar, all explained in a simple and friendly manner. And for those who are more comfortable in Hindi, don't worry at all. I have explained the entire presentation in Hindi as well, just for you. The link to the Hindi version of this video is given in the description box below. So make sure to check that out too. In this session, I hope this session helped you understand the concept clearly. And if you found this helpful, please don't forget to subscribe and like. Thank you for so much of your time. See you in the next video. Thank you.